In this episode of Motive Garage, we take our WRX project budget track hack to Oz Time Attack at Wakefield Park Raceway. Now, after a successful season at the White Line Rally Sprint, I'm keen to take our WRX back to Wakefield Park Raceway to see what it can do after a couple of years of development. Now, the last time we were there was in 2017 when we tested out the Toyo R888R and Boston was able to run a 1 minute 10.75 and I was running in the low 1 minute 12 bracket. Now, not only is the car quicker than what it used to be back then, but I'd like to think that I've got a lot more experience in that car and should be able to go a lot quicker at Wakefield Park as well. What's the target time? Well, with how basic the car is, I guess anything under 1 minute 10 in that car should be considered pretty good because as far as I'm aware, there's no brand new WRX you can buy that can go under 1 minute 10. And really anything under 1 minute 10 on any form of road tyre or DOT tyre is considered a pretty quick machine. And with how basic our car is, I'd be pretty stoked if we could run 108s in that car. So let's head to Oz Time Attack and see how we go. So that's the first session for us at Oz Time Attack in our WRX. We're not competing any classes because essentially we've got a club sprint car but using a pro class tyre because it's not allowed in open class, the Hoosier A7 that we use at the rally sprint. The first session for me was just to blow the cobwebs out, scrub those tyres again and see how they go, and then basically just push the limits of the car in certain parts of the track and get comfortable. There was not a perfect lap in there. There was sections of each lap that were good, but I don't think there was one lap that was tied together. Actually, on my last lap, I was gonna try that, but the flag went out. But essentially, I just smashed my own PB in this car by a few seconds. It's a 108.9. I think I'm 3 seconds up on my last PB on R888s. Obviously, we've also changed gear ratios and some suspension arms, but haven't really got any more power. Bozo did a high 110 in this car. So we're easily under 1 minute 10 now without really trying. I think there's at least a low 7 in it on a committed lap, but we'll find out if I've got the nuts, right? All right, back from the second session, pushed harder this time, probably too hard in some of the laps. Was able to keep it pinned in parts I couldn't before, and I've gone quicker by half a second, which is pretty good here at Wakefield, a 108.4. So not in the 7s yet, that's the goal. If I don't quite get there, I'm still happy, but overall, car's performing great. It's pretty slow on a straight line, but man, on the Hoosier A7's the weapon around this track. E-League pads, even with stock calipers and stock size rotors, which are DBA T3. No brake fade, pulls up really well. I can use all of the tyre under braking now here, so it's car's really good, set up really well, heaps of confidence, great turning. If you trail brake and even if you lift the throttle mid-corner, it tucks the nose in really well. So the balance right now of this car is pretty much spot on. If you want a really fun, cheap track car, this is the one to copy. that was our third session, and it seems I've set it into a bit of a rhythm. Pretty much just doing consistent mid 108s now. So almost every lap was a 108.5 or a 108.6. My PB's a 108.4. So I'm pretty sure that's just where I am. But the good thing is that's a comfortable, fast pushing pace that I'm at now. If I push any harder than that, I feel like I'm over driving and I make mistakes, but that was good fun. We had a bit of a GC8 battle going, 3 GC8s, line astern, that was cool. But overall, it's, you know, I'm 3.5 seconds quicker than the last time I was here. And obviously with some more seat time or a pro driver, I reckon it's got a 7 in it, but the fact that it can do 108s that easily in such a basic car is pretty good. Well, Oz Time Attack was a blast, great event to watch some of the best cars in the country and test out our WRX. You saw from all of the updates after each session that the car is well set up, it's great fun to drive, it's a perfect example of cheap thrills, but we are now reaching the point where, you know, it's consistently doing 108s. How do we go quicker? Well, brand new tyres might make it do a 107.9 maybe, but really from here, if we want to go quicker at the track or at the rally sprint, we need more power, and that's a slippery slope. If we add a bigger turbo, do we need then to upgrade injectors and fuel rails and front end intercooler? We might need to go bigger radiator. Then we're going to start going, okay, well now the brakes aren't big enough due to the extra grunt. Do we need a bigger clutch? Is the gearbox going to handle? Do we need a bigger tyre? Do we put flares on? It's just a slippery slope when it comes to that. So what are we going to do next with the WRX? Well, I don't know. Feel free to put your suggestions below of what you'd like us to try next. For maybe a small grunt increase, I'm thinking that maybe another 40 horsepower will be enough to do quite easily and make us quicker. A little bit of an update from our catch can in the last episode. That is how much I emptied out of the catch can, 200 mils after a day at the track. Our 200SX on E85 with double the, well, probably triple the power, would have probably had 4 litres in the catch can around about now, but most of it would be E85 fuel, water that's evaporated into the system, etc. So, you know, a GDR and a Silvia with a, you know, triple the power on E85, you need a lot more catch can space, but our WRX did pretty well. Bear in mind it was slightly over full before I got there as well. So the 230,000 kWh engine is actually doing pretty well. So, like I said, where to from here? Not sure. Give some suggestions. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And we'll see you next time in Motive Garage.